Good evening, good day, viewers around the world. You are welcome to the new edition for the week, Monday, the 4th of March, 2024. You are welcome to Between the Lines. Between the Lines. This is our program that keeps us, Nigerians in diaspora, updated with events or happenings as they also affect us. Between the Lines, it's a Schengen Story Media production. My name is Mark Godwin Iwejuwa, and I do this with my colleagues, my friends from different parts of the world. Right there in Lagos, Nigeria is Olayinka Raji.
Hello, man. Good evening.
Yinka Raji, how are you?
I hope I'm loud and clear.
You're loud and clear. Hope your Monday is going smooth. Hope the Monday started well. Can you hear me?
I can hardly hear you.
Okay, all right. Anyway, we are here, Raji, Between the Lines. Before we go into the main discussion, let's run through what we have today. Let's look at also some newspaper headlines that is flying around. Also welcoming in from different parts of the world. Somebody's coming in. Okay. We're hearing news of the police arresting 15 people that looted a warehouse in Abuja. This is in Nigeria, Africa. Some people saw them looting. They looted a warehouse that belongs to the Federal Capital Territory, and that's the Department of Agriculture in the Tashi area of Abuja. You wonder why people want to loot goods meant for some other things. Also, I think this one will come in our discussion. Nigeria is mourning. Nigeria is mourning because two great minds, two geniuses in the entertainment industry, we lost them during the week. The president described those people as genius, and he said they brought tears, they brought joy and relief to millions of Nigerians, and that's true. But we'll come to that later. Also, we're looking at what's happening in Haiti. Haiti has been plunged into chaos. Over the weekend, there were deadly fighting, rival gangs fighting very hard in Port-au-Prince. That's the capital of Haiti. And I think we'll also come that in the discussion. Take note that Haiti has been going through a series of commotion since he lost his president last 2021. As Juvenal Mourns. He was assassinated in office. We're also hearing other news, but I won't want us to dive in all as headline. Rather, we'll take them as discussion. So welcoming in Fiona Akuno. You're welcome from London, UK.
Good evening, gentlemen. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good evening.
Pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be with you guys.
Good to have you, man.
Okay, gentlemen. Between the Lines, viewers, this is Between the Lines. What's Between the Lines? Between the Lines is we put out those narratives that probably some conventional newsroom will not want to say. So we say it as it is, and we put it out, Between the Lines. Gentlemen, let's start with this Qatar. The president of Nigeria visited Qatar. And a lot of things are happening. We hear now that an agreement has been signed, business agreement have been signed across education, mining, tourism, sports. And also we had our president tell the Qatar officials that they should report to him if anybody comes to seek for bribe or anybody comes to do some back end thing with this arrangement, that they should report to him. Now that comment sent fire into the social media. Some Nigerian leaders of thought and politicians said that was a wrong statement the president made. But first of all, let's look into the Qatar business signing thing. Fiona, you're there. Raji, let's hear you.
Yes.
Our president, I heard your take the other time. What's your take on this?
Well, I am happy that it was not a jamboree of some sort, because in the first instance, I was at a loss actually. Whatever
Mm.
investments we are going to be getting from Qatar,
Mm.
until I see the details of the agreement that they signed, I may not be able to make any much comment. But I'm happy that at least some agreement has been signed, and it was not just a jamboree.
Mm. Some agreement has been signed, and it was not just a jamboree. But we know
So,
the number of people that went with him. Somehow that looks like a jamboree because
well,
I mean you can't be moving around with that huge number of people when we are
mm,
complaining of economic problems and all that.
mm.
Anyway, also welcoming to the studio viewers listening, watching. We have a new panelist all the way from Turkey, Ankara, Turkey. That's right there in the Middle East. You want to put it so? So I don't know if she can hear me. Nayama Benson, are you there? Okay, while we wait for her, let's have Fiona's view. Fiona,
Yes.
our president and some group of his team were in Qatar, and during the meeting, he told the gathering of investors to report any official asking for bribe, that the country is removing all roadblocks.
Yeah. So I heard that. I think I don't want to really respond to that particular issue because I don't know what that means. So I'm going to park that to one side because I don't really understand what that. I don't know what narrative that's supposed to be setting about. We honest, law-abiding Nigerians. So I don't know why he said that, but let's park that to the side. It's no news that the Qataris are very wealthy. And it's a positive thing in my mind that there have been MOUs signed, and we're talking about things like education, communication, tourism, etc., etc. I'm really glad about that. The thing that really piqued my interest was that one of the people actually made a reference. Talked about the brilliant minds we have as Nigerians. And this is no news to anybody who's listening. Nigerians are amongst the most brilliant minds in the world. It's not up for debate. It's not up for negotiation. It's not up for anything. But one of the comments made was that it would be nice to see this brilliance displayed properly in the way our country runs. And I think that for me, that was my biggest take home from all this, in spite of all the signing of things and all those different things, all that, red tape. That statement that, listen, it's all well and good for you to show your excellence out of Nigeria. Can we see some reflection of that within Nigeria? That is a real hard knock. And I think it's really important that particular statement is actually so I think the Qatari royal said, everywhere in the world, Nigerians are known for their brilliance and hard work. We only need to ensure that this is happening inside of Nigeria rather than outside. So everybody knows.
Viewers, sorry for Fiona. Viewers, you can hear this. You're reading the lines. Fiona is giving us one of the most powerful updates on this whole thing. What the Qatari royal has said about Nigeria as a whole. 220 million people.
Yes. And we know, we as Nigerians, we know brilliant. We don't have to, we're not going to have a long discussion about it. We're brilliant and we're hardworking. We are really tenacious. We're able to power through. So absolutely 100%. So it's incredible to hear an outsider of that caliber saying, we'd like to see this reflected in the sort of things happening at home. So for me, that was the biggest take home. Of course, am I delighted that the Qataris are involved? Absolutely. Have we seen our country go out and sign different things and nothing really materializes? We've seen that as well. So it will be good for the proof of this to be in the eating. So when these things start to materialize, it will be good to see them coming to fruition.
Fiona, it looks like you went with the entourage to Qatar, the way you speak, with all boldness, all authority. Sounds good, Fiona. Sounds real good. Raji, now the minister, we have this one-time minister of aviation, Chidoka. Chidoka was one of those that said the president shouldn't have used the word report to me, whoever comes back end behind to ask for bribe on these business arrangements. Is it not a good thing that the president said something that sounds transparent? You know, trying to make the Qatar people know that this is a new Nigeria. We don't do back end things. We don't do cranky things. I mean, if other politicians now say, "Why did he say so?" Do we have to hide ourselves from our ill? Already, the world knows we do those things. So him, Tinubu, coming to say that it's not allowed again, I think is commendable. Raji, what do you think?
Is it from the very, very awesome synopsis that Sister Fiona put out just now, up to the point where she mentioned that the Qatari emphasized the fact that Nigerians are brilliant, that we are brilliant everywhere we are except in country. So it is just a support of that statement by Tinubu that, okay, we know ourselves, we are brilliant, we are interesting. Why aren't we doing these things in country? Probably the issue of bribes and things have been the one that have been stopping these things. Henceforth, anybody who asks for bribes for anything from any foreign investor coming in country should be reported to him. Unless Osita has something to hide, I don't see anything wrong in that. I've read stories of where investors have come in from abroad with millions of dollars, but have not been able to invest in the country because somebody wanted something for himself.
I have personal experience of that. So yeah.
Yes.
You do have personal experience on that, Fiona.
But I also don't know that making the statement, I don't know that it was a positive, I don't know that it has a very positive connotation as a public statement. I don't know. I feel that in some ways it kind of, I'm not sure that I align with the positivity in the statement. So I'm glad that we're pushing back against corruption. I align with that. I like that, but I don't know whether going to the public platform and saying, "Oh, my brothers and sisters are corrupt." So if anybody, I don't think that I like the narrative that it puts out there, because across all countries, no country excluded, everybody is corrupt. You know, politicians are corrupt. All that is all happening underneath the surface. Even the Qataris will have their own, I am sure. So I think like coming as the president to say that about your own nationals, I think there are other ways that statement could perhaps have been said that was perhaps a bit more politically.
But Fiona, he wasn't accusing anybody. He was just putting the statement forward that we are signing some agreement with these people. Please, if there's any issue that you have, report it to me.
Yeah, so I think if he had said, if you have any issues at all, report to me, that's different. But if you're saying specifically any issues of this nature, I think that sets the tone that's
the major issue.
Well, you see, and is that really the major issue we have in Nigeria? Is that the only issue? Are those the key issues? I mean, we don't have electricity.
It's the major issue. It's a major issue. The issue of infrastructure can be done or cannot be put in place if the person who wants to start some infrastructure has to put up a lot of against bribery and all manner of things. So it's to such an extent that the investment is not even profitable thereafter.
I accept. I think that if I was going to go and showcase my product, what I would not be doing is saying to the buyers, "Oh, well, you know, we know that the product might be a bit off key." That's my personal opinion. I feel that was not the I think that forum to say it in that kind of space, I don't think was right. I don't think it has a good knock-on effect on the population as a whole, to be fair. But that's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Guys,
that's
you are putting it between the lines. What you're saying now is putting it between the lines. Let's take it that the president have said it. It could be a flaw, it could be a mistake, but he has said it, and that's it. But anyway, with what you said, Fiona, what you said of the statement from the Qatari royal home, that cleans out and erases any other negative thing.
Absolutely, 100%. We are brilliant, yes. We're hardworking, and there's nobody in the world that can tell us otherwise. We know. This. Like that.
We are brilliant. We are hardworking. He said we only need to ensure that this is happening inside of Nigeria rather than outside. All right, gentlemen, let's go further to more news. This weekend had some very sad news in the Nigerian entertainment scene. These are two people that are prominent in that sector. I once met with Mr. Ibu a long time ago. So Nigeria, we've lost two entertainment legends, Mr. Ibu and a guy called Sisi Quadri. Yinka, Yinka, tell us. These two people passed on. Tell us the story. What happened?
In both cases, it borders on their health issues. In both cases, Mr. Ibu was diabetic, and even from the size of his tummy, I've always wondered what is wrong with this man's tummy. He had to do something about his tummy. A few weeks ago, he had surgery on his leg, and one of them was amputated. And for a diabetic person, such a wound takes a long time to even heal, if it will ever heal. And it comes with all manner of complications. And it seems as if he had a clot in one of the legs. If one has clot in one inside in any of the veins, it's a terrible precursor to sudden death. And because of his long stay in the hospital, he probably was sitting down a lot of time or lying down a lot of times, and he wasn't doing any much movement. In the case of Sisi Quadri, I've never seen anybody who could put up who could so abuse you that you'll be interested in what he's saying. Anytime I saw him abusing somebody, the description of the person is so apt that even the person will be surprised. You got me. If it will not be able to take offense about the abuse. And what was said about him was that he hardly rested. He needed to rest. He was always moving around, hustling. He hardly rested. It is very their death is very painful to me, because I've enjoyed Mr. Ibu, I've enjoyed Sisi Quadri so much.
Oh dear. So viewers, for those of you watching now on your screen, is on the left-hand side is Mr. Ibu, and on the right-hand side is the Sisi Quadri. These are the two legends we lost during the weekend. One to cardiac arrest from leg amputation, the other two from illness that hasn't been described yet. So Fiona, how do you want to put this?
First of all, I think I want to join my fellow panelists and extend our sincere condolences to both families. Obviously, he's, aside from the fact that he's somebody they're both people in the public eye, they also have their own families. So it's important that we understand that families have also lost loved ones. So our condolences go to the two families of Mr. Ibu and Sisi Quadri. Being ill in Nigeria is fraught with many different things, and one of the things that I am always quick to say is that for us here in the United Kingdom, I think we don't really appreciate the privilege that we have having free healthcare at the point of need. There's a lot of social media interest in Mr. Ibu's illness in particular. And of course, we know once it comes to diabetes does affect at the cellular level. So it can be it's almost like contagion. It almost becomes like a domino effect. So, we wish that he rests peacefully. I do know that the governor of Osun State, I think the Actors Guild in their state has actually approached Governor Adeleke, and they're talking about having a health care structure and some kind of policy in place. I think I heard, gosh, a couple of years ago, one of the people who was vying for office had said something about creating a life policy system that people could buy into, and it would be great if our government had, allowed companies to make provision for things like this, either within companies, within guilds, etc., so that loved ones, when these things happen, are able to tap into those resources to kind of help them, especially at this difficult time. So, I mean, I just wish that they both rest in peace. We've lost two major talents in Nigeria.
Awesome, guys. Earlier on, we had lost Jimmy Solanke, but that was.
Thank you
earlier
very
on,
much.
we had lost Jimmy Solanke. Yeah, but he was 82. Fantastic actor.
So
he impressed me so much.
Jimmy's own was old age.
Was old age, yes.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Thank you very much.
We still miss him, because even if we are 199 years old, we will not want him to leave so soon.
Absolutely.
I grew up enjoying Jimmy Solanke's program back in the days. He focused more on little kids. Remember, he used to have this night program that talks gives folk songs.
Okay.
Yes, the folk song.
That was much later in his life. That was much later in his life. I encountered him when I was in Form 3 in Oriolokun Theater. It was a few meters from my school, and I watched him rehearse for "The Gods Are Not to Blame," rehearse for "Vera When Nobody," rehearse for Bekude, and all those things. And I sat in awe of him. And I'm proud to say that my watching him rehearse "The Gods Are Not to Blame," I could almost recite word by word all his lines. And when I had to sit, I was sitting for my English language exam at WAEC. A topic came in for us to write about, which was the arrival of the stranger. And I remember that I had written a story before, which was The Stranger, which is essentially based on "The Gods Are Not to Blame." And you could see me smiling in the exams room as I poured out all the things I've learned, all the things I've crammed about in "The Gods Are Not to Blame." And I wasn't surprised when I got an A1 plus in that exam.
Okay.
And I followed him throughout my stay in the University of Ife, where he was.
Oh, yeah. Yes, thank you very much. Viewers, that's it. We send our condolences to those family, Mr. Ibu's family, and Sisi Quadri's family. On behalf of the Schengen Story Media, Between the Lines, we pray you all go through this and see the other side of it, a positive side in this, and God helps strengthen you and see you through. So, gentlemen, let's go on a small break, and we'll be back. To the lines, we've been allowed to go a little bit further, but it's still in control. So let's go on a small break. We'll be back. Yes, Between the Lines, you're welcome. The second part of Between the Lines. A lot is happening also around the world. For those of us following the news, you can't make all the news together. You need to just look at the real strong one. In faraway Pakistan, the prime minister, there was a re-election, and the prime minister before still retained his position. But it's causing some strife, causing some controversy, because they said he came in through allegations of rigging and all that has been going on. So, gentlemen, Pakistan, Rika, are you following Pakistan? Fiona, are you following that news in Pakistan?
Yes.
The Prime Minister, yes. Shehbaz Sharif, he
Mhm.
returns as the Pakistan Prime Minister
Mhm.
amidst election controversy. What do you have on that, Fiona? Between the lines.
I mean, they're very strong political family that he has been re-elected. For me personally, speaking as a Nigerian, not as a Pakistani, nothing that they're saying is even anything that makes me even overly concerned that there was corruption or that there was rigging or anything like that happened. I don't even, for maybe as a Nigerian, you know, as a Nigerian, we have a slightly warped sense of processing things. For me, hearing that, I don't think, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know why it's, for me, it's the norm. We have had our own strife that's similar to that. There's been controversy about our own elections and what has happened as a result of that. The president we have is the president we still have. So I think that's exactly what will happen in Pakistan, and everybody will just get over it the same way people get over things. So I don't, for me personally, as a Nigerian, maybe because I'm used to that sort of thing, I just look at it as, okay, it's a news item. Maybe for people that, you know, believe in, you know, a proper way of doing things, but maybe as a Nigerian, I have a slightly different view about what's right. But he won it. He won it. So that's their primary.
He won it. He won it. But anyway, yes, the man Shehbaz Sharif is the younger brother of the former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, and we know their party name is called the PML party. Now, the thing there is that election was marked by a lot of controversy, including one funny thing was mobile internet was shut down on the day of election. That was February 8th, and violence and a lot of delay of the results and all that. So, I mean, if you have an election like that, like you just talked of Nigeria, but people can do better than this. Humanity can have some form of decorum. We don't need to hit ourselves, break ourselves, scatter everywhere because we're trying to elect a leader.
Absolutely.
I mean,
well, sorry, can I just interject? But we understand that when people are in power, though, it's very difficult for them to release that power. Yes, so they do anything it takes to try and keep hold of it. So I mean,
or come back to power.
Yeah, or come back to power. So I'm not saying that I agree that that's the right thing to do. I'm just saying that with the antecedents in Nigeria, this sort of thing for me as a story is not. Is just a story.
It's no story.
Just a story.
I believe that I'm really happy that Pakistan excised itself from India. I can't imagine how India would be if Pakistan was still part of India. Pakistan with about 220 million people, not to talk of the Bangladesh. You know, it was a stroke of luck that Pakistan decided to excise itself from India. Otherwise, Pakistan would have been like the bad Ibu that spoils the soup for India. India had had no military takeover since 1947. They have not been any threat of even a military takeover. Meanwhile, Pakistan has regularly might have had more than 10 military interventions, and still there's no peace in that country. Thank God for Pakistan leaving India.
Sorry, one man that has stood against the whole thing is the former Prime Minister Emir Khan. I know you know Emir Khan. Now,
Yes.
he's the man, and what they did was they locked him up. You know, so they locked him up, and but his people are demanding that they release him, and if that happens, probably tensions might rise more. So we don't know how this second term might be. Shehbaz Sharif, younger brother of three-time Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. We don't know how it's going to look because they are not taking it. And the Pakistani people are not taking it. Challenges are too strong for him. And also, we know that when it's like this, you bet governance will be poor. It won't have any impact on the people. All right, gentlemen, I think we need to do this now. Niyama Benson, this is our new coordinator. Viewers, our new coordinator from Turkey.
Thank you.
Turkey, Niyama Benson, how are you?
I'm fine, very well. Thank you, sir.
I know you were having issues with the network, a first time thing. Most times that. Yes. So the viewers are happy to see you. This is Between the Lines, SSM News Echoes network. And what we do is just give those updates the way we see them. News are happening all minutes. News are flying every hour. But we just pick on some, freckles of the news and give to our audience. So how did you see the death of Mr. Ibu? I hope you know Mr. Ibu.
Sure, definitely. He made my childhood. I cannot forget him.
Oh, your childhood. Imagine.
Yes.
So how do you feel losing him? No more comedy from Mr. Ibu, no more jokes, no more all those things he brought to our human world. Tell us, how do you feel?
It really struck me, I won't lie. I felt very sad when I heard about his passing. And I just want to give my sincere condolences to his family because they will feel it more. And to the children that he really made their childhood, I'm one of them. I'll miss him a lot, and may he rest in peace. I don't want to.
May he rest in peace. Thank you very much. That was from the heart. Thank you. Yes, gentlemen, we're still here Between the Lines. Let's look more into some other things. Problems are going everywhere. I know we won't be able to look at it all, but there was something that happened this morning. The Gaza-Israel situation, what America did was they now came and dropped food, airdropping food, boom, 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 from the top, from a flight. And now there are a lot of food for them there. But what we're looking at this is in terms of how humanity is really going down the drain when it comes to empathy. Fiona, I mean, last time they were lining up to eat, they came and took away 112 of them. Boom! Yeah. So are we losing? Is humanity losing feeling? I mean, that simple outgoing concern for each other. I mean, understanding that we're human beings and we're all from one source. Yeah.
I think the first thing is to understand that there's a war, so it's not like it's a war. So it's not like it's like a jolly that anybody's having there. So so of course things happen during war that are inhumane and wicked and not nice and not friendly. But that's by definition, war is not going to be friendly. People allowing people to do what they want. So it's a war. So it's very unfortunate. The loss of life, civilian, elderly, children, etc. It's awful. It's a terrible thing. There's absolutely no contest about that. I mean, they dropped, if my memory serves me correct, something like 38,000 meals. I mean, 38,000 meals is decent, but I mean, there are hundreds of thousands of people that are out there that need food. So I mean, that is it's great, but it's not the it's not the solution. And obviously, I know they're having problems with ground forces getting aid and food, etc., in. So I just hope that there's talk of a ceasefire. I think one party hasn't agreed as yet, but hopefully, if there is a ceasefire, then at least for the period of the ceasefire, they'll be able to get in the prerequisite aid, food, etc., to at least sustain the people on the ground that need these things.
Wow. Between the Lines, as we're going further, we have our coordinator there in Russia, Moscow, Russia, Dr. Godwin Ibe. You are welcome to Between the Lines.
Thank you for having me. Am I audible?
Yes, loud and clear. We can hear you well. Let's take this 2 seconds break and we'll come back Between the Lines. Yes, between the lines, viewers, thank you for tuning in. We have the world covered. We have an Ankara correspondent, we have Russia correspondent, we have UK correspondent, we have Lagos, Nigeria. I mean, what do you want again? What could we ask for? Gentlemen, it's good Dr. Godwin is here. Dr. Godwin, what's that new update on the Russia thing? We had Ukraine attacked Crimea, and some things were destroyed. What's happening? Can you bring us up to date, please?
This happens quite often. It's about a drone strike on some areas in Crimea. I think Fedosia, something like this as well. You have to understand that drone strikes are not always to attack a particular target. Sometimes they are made to provoke or to discover air defenses or to reveal radars that otherwise might be in passive mode, for example. So sometimes there might be follow-up attacks. Obviously, there was a lot, but most of them were brought down. Most of the drones were shot down basically by Russian defense. But yeah, I don't think it might be the end, because some of them, like I said, they are reconnaissance done basically to reveal air defense positions. It's quite sad because those the areas they flew over were civilian areas, and if anything had happened, they weren't brought down, it would have led to loss of more civilian lives. But hey, I mean, there's a military conflict going on between Russia and NATO, so a lot of masks are being taken off, and we see the result.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Benson, we want to have the updates. Thank God you're here. We didn't follow up what happened after the earthquake. Can you tell us what has happened so far? We know it's a long time now, but how has life been? How has it been recuperating? The country recuperating from that earthquake. How has it been, Benson? You need to unmute. You need to. Good.
Sorry.
Nice. Okay.
Everything went back to normal. There were 8 across to the provinces that were affected, and people were moved from that province. And I've not really heard anything about, but I think the province really went down. Nobody's staying there for now. Companies were destroyed, homes were destroyed, and most people were really dead. Yes, and we are still expecting another earthquake. We don't know when. Like we are expecting another earthquake. I'm scared too for my life. But we're expecting another earthquake, and a very massive one. So we don't know when. That's it.
So how do people live with that expectation, Raji? How do you live with expectation of earthquake? Whoa, that's serious. So how do you cope? You tell us before Raji comes in. And
It's very funny that we actually know where the earthquake will happen. We know where like the region where it's going to pass through. We've been told countless times it's going to pass through, and where I'm staying is one of them. So just like we can move, we can go nowhere.
So that means once in a while you have some vibrations, some
tremor.
Tremor.
Yes, it did today.
It did today.
Yes.
Viewers, you're hearing this live between the lines. It did today. There was a tremor in Turkey, and anytime an earthquake could blow up. Fiona, how will you be living in a place and you're sleeping with your eyes, your senses at one corner, you're waiting, anything could happen? Fiona, how does that look like as a mother, as a woman?
Well, I was in LA in 2018 and there was an earthquake there. So, but it's not a situation that I would ever wish to be part of on a frequent basis. I don't think just hearing it is just even making me have anxiety. So, we just wish you all the best and stay safe. That's all I can really say about that. It's what it is.
Sorry if I may interject. Sorry, I want to hear. By the way, Benson, welcome to our panel. I would like to understand in Turkey, there was some problems with building quality and permissions gotten. As I understand, they were meant to be able to survive the earthquake, but it turned out that many of them weren't built up to standard. And I also learned that some of the builders were executed for this gross violation of safety standards. Could you update us on that? And is it better now? Did they upgrade the buildings to the standard required to withstand earthquake? And did those builders really die? And what are the mitigation measures?
That's very. I didn't hear any builders being executed. That Turkey is not that harsh to the extent of executing builders. I didn't hear that, and there is no upgrade as we speak. Maybe in the affected areas, maybe they'll try to build better homes there. But there is no upgrade. There are no better upgrades.
Yes. I want to say that I know I have a reference to what Dr. Godwin is saying. It's a video, but that the story actually, Dr. Godwin, is a massacre of a clan of a people, a tribe, a particular tribe, and it's not Turkey. The border town between Turkmenistan. That's it. And yes, and they were executed and pushed into the hole. I think it's that video. They were pushing them to the hole, blowing up their head. Yeah, that happened in 2017, and it was reported to UN, but nothing happened. Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen. Let's move on. Like we said, we stretched the time, so we have small time more, 10 minutes more. Let's talk about. Has anybody said anything about the US-Gaza war and the airdropping, the food dropping? Is there any update we want to hear again? Dr. Godwin, is there anything you want to say on that? Airdropping of food to help people survive.
It's like the chicken
now. Go ahead.
I say it's like the chicken, yeah. When you pull out, don't want to. Maybe I shouldn't say this on YouTube. But there's this analogy where you kind of take a chicken and then you pull out all the feathers, yeah? So it's horribly, but it's so terrible, and the chicken is in pain, and after a while, if you now release the chicken and you now put some seeds of corn, the chicken will still come even without its feathers and everything, and still come back and try to feed with you and even follow you into your home without its feathers. It's just similar the same way. You're dropping minute amount of food after supporting the massacre of civilians. I mean, no one said we on air condemned the October 7 attack on Israel. I personally believe that Israel has a right to defend itself, but to mete out on coordinated, on targeted attack on civilians that have led to the loss of over 30,000 lives, more than 50% of them are children and dependents, and there's no clear pathway of how it will go from here, in the sense that the people you are targeting, the Hamas people, you cannot extinguish them without extinguishing the population. So there's just no way to get all the Hamas people. And even if you peradventure through some miracle get all the Hamas people, they're just like replaceable. Somebody else will just rise up, because the underlying reason for their agitation, the underlying reason for their ease for the ease at which they are radicalized is still there. If you have killed the person they depend
Okay.
on, if you occupy their territory and their land,
Mhm.
it's very easy to radicalize almost anybody. So
Everybody.
it's a shameful
Thank you
result
very
and
much.
doesn't help in
Thank
any
you
way
very
in the
much.
country.
At this point, I want us to do something. Miss Irma Benson is a writer, and she's launching a book. She's launching her book. I've not read the book, but I've seen the cover, and it looks like something I want to read. So, tell us, Miss Benson, what's your book about? What's the launch date? What's happening? Invite the audience. You have some number of people listening now, and yeah, go ahead, Miss Benson.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, my book is called. This is I'm wearing the T-shirt right here. Being Nigerian, the spirit of Niger. It talks about. It's a novel actually, a fiction that talks about the struggles of an average Nigerian in a foreign land, especially in Africa. We Nigerians, we are being stereotyped. We are being stereotyped for a lot of things that we do not know about. For example, I here in Turkey, I once read a bus where a woman stopped talking to me because she found out I was Nigerian. A reason best known to her, I'd never met her before, but because I was a Nigerian, maybe someone has done something bad to her. And I've had people that said they could not do businesses because they are Nigerian abroad. So the stereotypes that we get for being Nigerian. So that's what I'm talking. I want us to talk about. Want us to talk about this. Start this conversation where people would treat us based on our individual differences, and not because another Nigerian has done something bad to. We are not all the same. We have different characters. We are Nigerian doesn't mean that we all behave the same way. So that's what my novel is talking about. And the launch date is on 30th of March, this last Saturday, 2004, and we're going to further talk about how Africa and Nigeria could be doing business together, and how competition, because my book also talks about competition and collaboration, where we have to focus more on collaboration than competition, because that's another problem that people are trying to compete with Nigerians. We are large people. Nigeria is big, of course. We are smart people, of course, but trying to compete with people you don't know their struggles, it's not really going to end well. I think we should do more of collaboration. So that day we're going to talk about collaboration, how we can do businesses, and even in our music and every other thing, how we can do that to be one Africa and also one humanity. So that's what my book is all
Wow.
about.
Gentlemen, viewers, you just had it.
Thank
Listen, I mean, this is it. This is who we are. Viewers, let me give room for our panelists, our people. Raji,
Yes,
she's
sir.
coming up with something that will help me and you indirectly as time
Mm.
goes on. How do you feel about this book by Miss
It's
Benson?
nice. It's an awesome step to take, and I always appreciate people who can write. It's not easy for you to be able to put your thoughts into a book and be able to put it in the public. It's an awesome thing. And the more you write, the more you think, the more you think, the more you write. And I wish you the best of luck in all these things. We'll look at that. We'll look at your novel, and we can critique it so that for the next edition will be much better than the first. Best of luck, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Raji. Thank you, Raji. Fiona, she's writing a book, and me and you know that this is true. This is what we face, those of us in Europe and outside Nigeria, as a stereotype.
Stereotype.
They just mobile up us in one way and say, this is how we all are. And even though somehow I have escaped some of those stereotypes because I don't associate much with the public like that. I have my group of people I mix with. I dodge those stereotypes. Keep dodging, moving around and dodging some of those blues. Fiona, how do you feel about that? You need to unmute, Fiona.
Sorry, Mac. I want to. Sorry, before I respond to that, when you say you're dodging them, what do you mean? I need to understand that.
What I mean by that is, I don't go to places where some of those reactions will come up. One way you could see those is probably working in a factory in Europe, working with other nationalities, also mixing around with other, I have been in my shell. And when I even want to mix, I have this group that that's what I mean by
you know where I'm going with what I'm asking you. So that's why you're not answering what I'm asking you, but that's fine. It's a fantastic idea. I think, like Mac, I'm quite fortunate that I don't have these. I mean, don't get me wrong. Have I had negative experiences trying to do things in Nigerians? 100%. But I'm quite lucky that in my working life and my business life that I haven't really had this. I haven't had this experience of people reacting to me negatively because I'm Nigerian. So I think I'm quite fortunate in that regard. But I know the book will make interesting reading because it will be something that will be very relatable. So I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Dr. Godwin, Russia is number one. Do Russians stereotype? Do they label people black and that? I know you guys are one cordial, loving people. Tell us, this book, Being Nigerian.
Yes, at least Russia didn't colonize Africa, so that says a lot about the ability or the desire to dominate another set of people. But being Nigerian, Benson has alluded to, there are some issues, but most of those issues stem from the fact that all animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. And every country is for its own interests and cannot even pretend to care about an interest of another person more than their own citizens. And why am I driving to that? That some of them are also based on facts, in the sense that Nigerians present in some cases, or in many cases, a migration risk to other countries. They don't say it, but the rejection rate from application of visas as a Nigerian is really high, and the naturalization rate for Nigerians is not as high as it should be, even when they arrive at these countries. Obviously, there's a term like Japa in Nigeria, which means to emigrate. It's a special term.
And now we have the Rakpa. Going on now. Okay. So a lot of Nigerians in the diaspora are Rakpaing. They are coming back home.
They are going
so it's
back.
not just about Japa, it is also about Rakpa. Because
but come on, there's no comparison between Rakpa and Jakpa. Rakpa is a voluntary choice. Jakpa is like, if you get it, people will sell their father's land, they will sell their properties, their car. We could even Jakpa with no hope of what will happen the next day, but just to get out first.
Yeah.
They just burn bridges
without plan. They basically burn all bridges behind them just to get out.
Burn bridges
with no plans of the next day, but just for the simple fact of opening your eyes and you've left the shop. So it's a migration pressure, migration risk, and these a lot of people don't like to speak about it because they don't like to hear the truth. But all these embassies, they know, and it reflects in their policy, the amount of rejections and naturalization rate. And I believe that we should learn to tell ourselves the truth.
We should learn to tell ourselves the truth. Gentlemen, viewers, you're listening to Between the Lines, Monday, today, 4th of March, 2024. Guys, so Benson, we're here for you. That day, if we're going to go live, if you want us to, we're going to be to people, watch you launch your book. Now, make sure we have access to the download or to buy. I want to buy 1 or 2 or 3. You know,
it's Amazon, sir. It's coming on Amazon and every other platform.
So you send us the link on Amazon. Fiona, you were going to say something.
I said, what was the launch date again?
30th of March.
30th.
Oh, so that's Easter weekend.
Yes, that's it's my birthday too. That's why I decided to do on that.
Hey, nice. So it's a 2-in-1 birthday and launching. So we want to be part of it. We're going to support you. any little way we can, because that's an effort. That's beautiful.
Thank you
Sure.
so much.
Guys, between the lines, we have five more minutes. Let's run through this, because like I used to say, it excites me when I see some of these things. But this one has a different tune to it, a different story. Yesterday night, midnight till this morning, America, the SpaceX rocket, SpaceX, like you all know, is Elon Musk's company. Now, it was carrying 3 US astronauts and 1 Russian astronaut, and they blasted off from Florida to the space station. Now they are going to the space. They are going to the space station. Now, there's something to this that sounds good. Regardless of the enmity, the war on ground, two countries are coming together for one cause, and to do something in space, to work out some whatever in space. So, Raji, let me begin with you. Let's make it brief. We have 4 minutes. How do you see this? Till this morning, I was watching. In fact, I'm here with some ice shots, and because I'm very listening. How do you see that, Raji?
First, there was the competition, and then there's now collaboration. By the time the Russians were able to build up that space station, there was nothing else than for there to be collaboration. Because there's no point America spending so many millions for the same purpose. So it came down to collaboration. And the collaboration continues, yes.
Fiona.
Yes.
I know you like space things too. Go ahead.
I well, sort of. I mean, it's incredible. I mean, obviously, the collaboration between Russia and America is very interesting because of but there are other countries that are also involved. I think as it comes up to International Women's Day, it's nice that there's a female astronaut on board. I think the pilot, I understand, this is his 3rd journey to the ISS, so which is, so he's a dab hand at it. And I think we have a Russian cosmonaut on board as well. So, we wish them well in their journey. They're going to be conducting lots of experiments while they're there. I think over 200 experiments. And they're going to be, because of the gravity, they're going to be trying to grow human organs there. So, I mean, it's great, but also that makes me wonder where is all this heading? But yeah, so that's one of the experiments that I know they're going to be doing out there. They've got, some really experienced people there. They've got a physician, and they're meeting 7 people who are actually already there, who are there at the ISS, at the ISS, the IS station there. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see what they're able to develop from this surgeon into space, really. So we just wait and see.
Wow, nice. Yama, do you like space talk? Do you watch? Did you watch Star Trek and some of those space things back in the days? No.
I'm not really a fan.
Okay, you're not really a fan. Anyway, the nice thing there, like we said, is that cooperation between these various countries. Maintaining collaboration is good. America and Russia. Take note that the space agency comprises of Canada, Europe, Japan, United States, and Russia. Yes. Godwin, what's your last take? We have just 1 minute to go. 1 minute. Godwin, are you with us?
Yes. Space technology is one of the space technology is one of the few remaining areas of collaboration between the US and Russia. Others include uranium, supplying nuclear fuel, which Russia still does, and Russia also should be noted that Russia has been, by tradition and usually, has been the one that has been transporting US astronauts to space with their heavy rocket. And this SpaceX thing is a new development and a positive one for the United States. So we welcome all these forms of collaboration. It remains to be seen if they will collaborate on intercontinental ballistic missiles, START, and non-nuclear proliferation, because that's the one that really puts the whole world on their heels.
Wow. Viewers, that's it. This is it. You see behind us that smoke-like effect, as if we're also going to space. Gentlemen, are you guys ready to go to space with me? We'll go in
No.
space now. That's what.
Absolutely not.
All right, viewers.
No.
Listen,
Mars and
thank you all
return.
for coming. I want to thank
I
Olaki.
pass.
I
Me
want to
too.
thank
I
Olayinka
pass on
Raji. Olayinka Raji, thank you for coming through. I know you have
pleasure,
your activities, but you take out time to be with us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Viewers appreciate this. Want to thank our man from Moscow, Russia, the man that is always ready to defend and do everything, and that's pretty good, Godwin.
Defend the truth.
You're a good ambassador for us in Russia. And we're thanking our wonderful Fiona. Fiona, thank you. You come all the way from school, you get your things together, and you show on the screen. Beautiful. Finally, the new baby in the house. And that's Nayama Pense. With our book launch, we'll be expecting. Viewers, this is it. Between the lines. Thank you, guys. Thank you. See you Wednesday for our Global Africa updates. Bye-bye.